The following is a Fox 54 Plus special presentation.
Hi, I'm Jasamine Byrd of Fox 54 News, and during the entire month of March, I've had the privilege of celebrating Women's History Month by highlighting 5 women editors based right here in the Rocket City. And I must say, hearing just a small portion of the journey each of these women have embarked on to get to where they are today as mothers, wives, entrepreneurs, and more was truly inspiring. You witness snippets of this interview each Saturday this month, but now here's a chance to see much more of the interview that we didn't get a chance to air during our newscast. Let's take a look. And I just want to start by saying welcome to you all. This is all in honor of Women's History Month, so thank you all for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. And the first question I want to start off with, to kind of jump in for Women's History Month, is why is it so important to kind of take a moment to step back and even recognize the many things that women do, whether it's, you're a writer, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, just kind of why is it important to take this month to celebrate all that women do? Anyone can start off.
I think that as women, we're always faced with what we should be doing, or there's another thing added to our list of things to do or be for someone else, another way to show up in the world that's kind of presented to us. So there's lots of stressors, and I think that celebrating who we are and just how we are as a person is very important, because we contribute so much, but sometimes there's that never-ending rat race feeling.
I mean, I think we actually do things on a level that maybe some men can't compete with. But we have to continue to celebrate that, because we're moms and we're entrepreneurs, and we wear all of these different hats, and we do them all at the same time. And I think that's really pretty extraordinary. And sometimes we don't do it as gracefully as we wish we would, but we need to know that what we're doing is pretty life-changing, I think, for the people around us, for the community. And I'm all about celebrating women entrepreneurs, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love it. And what inspired you to even become a woman writer? Was it something that you started kind of at a young age, or did you just kind of fall into it at an older age? Anyone can answer.
Well, I had always been interested in magazines, and in college I was the features editor of my college newspaper, and then moved to New York to work in publishing for Us Weekly. And I loved magazines, everything about magazines. I loved writing. I loved the business side of it as well. And so it was something that was always very attractive to me. And then when I began my own entrepreneurial endeavor before My Scoop, which was an online magazine, with the way the world was going, that made sense. But something I noticed during the pandemic was this reemergence of print, these beautiful publications that were popping up. And to me, that symbolized that there was this reemergence. People wanted the tangible. As wonderful as the screen is, it's also very nice to be able to hold something and feel it. And of course, the implications too of representing media, or representing women in the media, and how can we tell those stories, which is so important.
Love it. And I'm glad you brought that up about print, because I want to know, is print going to the wayside? I mean, I know a lot of people are like digital.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I'll take it from here. We were just talking, and we were referring to the fact that print, for me, growing up as a little girl, that was all I did was look at magazines. So what Amy was just saying resonated with me. There's something about the experience of looking at paper, the photographs, the written word, everything about it to me is a different experience. There's nothing negative about digital, but it's a different experience, I feel, in terms of having magazines. I I don't think it will. I think that there is a great relationship between digital and print, kind of a marriage that I think is very successful for a lot of, writers, magazines, online publications. I think that that's great, but I hope that print will be with us for a very long time.
And one thing that's I've noticed is you may miss something looking at a digital phone,
Yes.
iPad, and that sort of thing, but if you're looking at it like the physical copy,
Right.
you tend to, there's more that jumps out at you on the page, if that makes
Exactly.
sense. So that's one way I identify with print. So glad to hear your perspective. Anyone else that wants to add a perspective?
Yeah, I think when you hear the word print is dead or the phrase print is dead, I think what people are referring to is the decline of daily newspapers.
Yes.
And they've had a rough go at it. And, I feel really sad for the newspaper industry in general, because how those shops are set up, they have printers actually in-house, and it is a very expensive operation to run, and that's why we've seen the decline of Huntsville Times, Birmingham. But it's very different for a print magazine. Hyper-local publications, in which we all represent, there's actually been an increase in interest. So people are actually more interested in hyper-local news in print. So when you hear the phrase print is dead, it should be revised more to newspapers are really struggling to reinvent themselves, but magazines actually they're surviving, and a lot of them are thriving.
Yes.
Awesome.
I would love to piggyback off of what Takara said, because I think when you brought that up, it brought something to my mind that I believe that if people are looking for hyperlocal productions or publications, they're looking to connect with their city. They're looking to connect with the people in their city. And there's something
Absolutely.
about digital that's not as tangible as that, as having a printed copy of something to say, I know this person, I know that business, I love those people, I support those people. And I think maybe that is the connection there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And when we're talking about, of course, you all are women writers, but you're also mothers, you're also so many things. So could you give any advice for other women in general, just on how you all keep going, kind of the inspiration behind what keeps you going each and every day?
I can start. Well, for me, I'm actually not a writer, so the Scout Guide's more about being a photographic lookbook of our community. But to answer your question, I mean, part of why I started this entrepreneurial journey was so that I could be a working mom and still take care of my family. I loved the idea that I could work at night after my son went to bed, or on the weekends, so that I could fit life in with work. And so I think that's what a lot of entrepreneurs like about owning our own companies, is that it's not really, people ask me, well, oh, you work so hard, you work all the time. Well, that's because my job is my hobby. And I love it, and it's fun, and it's all wrapped together in one. And I think I was a better working mom than I was a stay-at-home mom. And I think my son was, well, if you ask him, he'd probably say no, but I think he was inspired to see his mom create something that had impact in the community.
Awesome. Anyone else?
Well, I will just say I might be the only mom of 4 here. So, I don't know.
Bravo.
Mother in waiting here.
I will say that I used to homeschool my children, and something that I enjoyed was the time I got to spend with my kids and also working on my hobby. And I didn't want to go off to the office because I just wanted to spend my time, a lot of time with my kids. And I know how precious those moments are, and they grow very fast. And so being a mother in publishing, all of my kids except for one are school age. And I really enjoy my children seeing their mom achieve something. My mom can still be a mom, and she's still there for me, and she sees all of my school events and achievements, but she's also, she's making something happen. She's doing good things in the community. So I think it's a beautiful combination.
Love that. And when you all speak about all of the achievements you've made with your publishing, what is one message that you try to portray every time you publish an artwork? Like what is, I know of course you have the story or whatever it is that you're putting out, but what is a message that you want to portray when you publish your work?
I would say that for Live Affirmed magazine, the message that I want to convey is that we can overcome anything. We can be empowered in every area of our life. We don't have to just thrive or be successful in one thing while struggling in other areas. There are women who share their stories and their journeys of overcoming so many different things. And that's the main underlying theme of each edition, is that this is a lifestyle of affirmation, of affirming yourself through difficult times or seasons, but also celebrating yourself.
Awesome, love that. Anybody else?
For me, it's just all about elevating Huntsville. You know, really just helping people connect with our community, the best of our community, and I think the best of it in a lot of cases is local and small business and people who contribute, and just really helping keep that story alive. Huntsville's a big, small town, and and I think just helping everyone to know what a special place it is that we live in and how to connect with the best parts of it. I love that.
Yeah. And two, there are some things happening around the city, so many people moving in. It's good to have publications like what you all are doing to let people know, hey, this is happening, you know, that they can go and attend. So I love that, what all you're saying about that.
Absolutely. We have that with the event magazine in terms of what a lot of the nonprofits are doing in the community with fundraising. And then we have the sister publication of the Business Journal, which has really explained to a lot of the community, a lot of the business and a lot of the growth that's occurring in the city. And it's been amazing.
Yes.
To see the growth of this city and just, but still to have such a great, warm place to live, a safe place to live.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate to live here.
Yeah, awesome. And one thing I want to ask you, have you had any mentors previously, like coming up in your writing process, or do you currently have mentors? I think it's good to have those people that you can look up to, you know, to help you along the journey. So have you had any mentors, or do you currently have a mentor?
Sure. You know, I think first and foremost, my grandmother and my mom were original mentors, and my mom is still alive, and so I seek a lot of advice from her, and I just see how she at one point in time was a single mom working, and the things that she did for us. And then also, you know, before I started this magazine, I sat down with Dawn and a few other women in this community who I just think are phenomenal, and it was very important to me to seek their advice and just any tips or challenges they had, and also, you know, just affirm those relationships and those friendships, and realize that we are all in this together, and we can all elevate each other, and how important that is.
Love it. And one thing I do want to know, I meant to ask this early on, but I'm asking it now because I want to know, what is it like being a woman publisher here in the South, also more specifically in Huntsville? Just kind of want to know from you all here, your perspective. Are there any like hardships that maybe you deal with in regards to publishing? I don't know if I'm making sense with this question, but I'm trying to say exactly how I want to say it. But
I can answer your question, I think. I will tell you this. I think that Huntsville, I already said, is an extraordinary place. So before I got started, I went around and spoke to some other people and got some advice. And I will never forget the advice that I got from a gentleman who works for the city of Huntsville in the planning department. And his name is Dennis. Lots of people know him. But he said to me, Dawn, Huntsville's the kind of place that if you have a good idea and you're willing to work hard for it, people will get behind you. And that has been 100% my experience. I hope it's been everyone else's too, because I think that has been a guiding thing for me. Just keep working, just keep working.
And what advice would you give to someone trying to break into the industry? anything that maybe they should be doing now? Maybe even if they're a high school student, you know, what is something that they need to be doing now to prepare?
Well, I would say, you know, internships are really great to see what you like to write about and what kind of companies you like to work for, but also getting writing mentors, you know, helping people to grow you in your craft. Having people to help you expand, you know, in what it is that you love to do, but also to know and understand that this is a game of the long haul. This is not one of instant gratification. You know, you have personal gratification. And I think that that is something that supersedes a lot of the financial aspects of it when you're putting roots down into something that you love. But I would say it's one of the long haul.
Definitely have to be determined.
Yes.
To be something, you need to do something, and this is regardless of publishing or any company that you start, that you absolutely love.
Yes.
Because you're going to give up a lot of time and energy and finances to see it through. Publishing, you know, coming up with fresh content, things like that, having a mentor. I think the ideas too of what you two brought up in terms of talking to other people in the industry and feedback from them is definitely good advice for someone who's looking to get into the industry.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I'm glad you brought that up about kind of having, I guess what you would call like a block when it comes to like creativity, that sort of thing. What are some things you all do just to kind of move past that? Do you go out to the local parks or to get inspiration or just?
I get inspiration from friends.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of us rely on our friends who are also business owners as a sounding board for us. And we can come up with different ideas of things that we can do to keep things interesting. You have to have an open mind to that. I would hope you would have an open mind to that and be able to listen to other people's opinions and then take what you want from it and work on that.
I concur. Friends, whether it's, you know, a coffee date or lunch date or just a quick text. Sometimes when I'm trying to decide on a cover or a different angle for an article, I'll shoot out a quick text, and lo and behold, all of a sudden a friend replies with something I had not really thought about before. And so you just never know where inspiration is going to come from. Now, I also like long walks and hikes. That's really good for inspiration too.
Exactly. And I want to know, this is a question for everyone. What's next for your publications? What's in the works? Just want to know.
We're just going to keep doing what we've been doing. We've been doing it for 17 years. We're going to keep doing what we've been doing, still building on what we have.
You guys added a Best Of award this year.
We did. We added the Best Of award the first year.
Congratulations.
That was great. People were very grateful and excited about receiving the awards too. So that felt good to us.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I feel like that got a tremendous amount of promotion too.
It did.
It was wonderful.
It did. But that was a lot of fun. And we have a few other things we're working on.
Got it. Can't wait to see it. Anyone else?
For Huntsville Magazine, our big push right now is just further retail distribution. So we're currently in 100 plus stores across North Alabama, and we just want to push that a little bit further, and then possibly expand to different titles eventually. So that's what's in the works.
Love it.
I would say for Live Affirm magazine, we're just working on connecting more deeply with the community of women here, but then also, of course, retail expansion and just like the natural growth. We're getting ready to be in year number 2, so I'm super excited.
Awesome. And you know, you mentioned something about 17 years, correct?
That's correct. We're going to have our 100th issue in July, August of this year.
That's major.
I think they just called me the OG of Huntsville today. It's true. It'll be our 100th issue.
That's exciting.
July, August issue, and we're still having fun and love it. I'm sorry, didn't mean to
No,
interrupt
you're
you.
good. Congratulations. Thanks for sharing that. Because I wanted to know, what is it that, and we talked about this a minute ago with just kind of the inspiration that keeps you going, but longevity, what keeps a magazine, you know, relevant in business so many years, what is some advice you can share for longevity?
To stay relevant. Well, again, I think it goes back to getting feedback from other people and your friends and your business, your business connections, and asking them what their thoughts are on different trends. Things have changed a lot in the last 17 years. So you have to be malleable, and you have to be willing to pivot and try new things. Some things work, some things don't. But you just have to try and have an open mind. Longevity, you just have to love what you're doing. And we love what we're doing.
Yes.
And how do you keep up with, like you were saying, things change throughout the years. How do you keep up with everything that is changing to stay relevant with the change of the time?
Keep up with that. You just have to keep an ear to the ground. You really do have to be aware. It's very easy, I think, to kind of stay in your own little circle, and you don't really see all the other things that are going on around you, and you have to be open-minded and again, pay attention.
I can think of another way to say that too. I think when I first started, I was still not sure of what I didn't know.
Right.
And so I was a lot less open to feedback and so I feel like I'm the second OG in this place, right? 7 years. But I feel like now I'm very confident and sure of who I am and what we're doing at the Scout Guide. And so I'm much more open to, well, do you like it? What do you think we should do differently? What should we add that doesn't hurt me? It actually just makes me stronger. Is being able to take good feedback.
Right. You have to be willing to listen, and you have to be willing to. You have to know that you don't know everything.
Right.
And that you have, and I think that pertains to life. And you have to be willing to listen to other people and take what you can from it, and like I said, you can apply it and hopefully it'll work.
Oh yeah, one thing I've learned is the Huntsville population, they love their print and they are very opinionated. And when that magazine rolls out, you will get emails and calls, and they will tell you what they like, and they will tell you what you need to fix. And I mean, I welcome it all.
Yes, hearing the feedback from the community is important. So
it is, and you want to strive to always get better, be better.
Absolutely.
Keep working at it, keep your eye on the ball, stay focused, and do the best job you can.
Yeah.
Awesome. Any final words, anything that I'm missing that you think is important that we share today? It's Women's History Month. Just anything we should share for our viewers who may be watching this?
Oh yeah, I have one thing, and it's very important. I think when you get a bunch of women business owners in a particular industry, I think that there is an underlying, vibe that maybe they don't all get along. You want there to be some tension. There is no tension. I want every woman on this panel to win. I want their publications to succeed, and I hope, and I would think that they would want the same thing. If you go to any city in the U.S. Who has multiple publications, it has multiple publications because it serves a need in that community. And New York City has some 50 plus publications, or more. So there is space for each of us to exist here and to be successful here in Huntsville. And that's very important for the greater Huntsville area to know.
Awesome, love that. Anybody else?
For sure. I think we are all doing things that elevate this community and make people feel good about where they live, which is so important.
Yeah.
And I think for a long time we were kind of print poor, or it was kind of a print desert, and so all of this is such good energy, and hopefully there'll be even more, because this city is full of so many stories and so many talented people, and we need to be telling those.
Love it.
Agreed.
Awesome.
I would say that I hope that what they take away from this today is the unity. The fact that we are rooting for each other, the fact that we're all amazingly talented, but there's room enough for everyone in this city to do what they do, and
I agree.
to flourish.
Love it.
Yeah.
And if you meet another woman business owner out there, not in publishing, don't assume she's doing that in her spare time or that she's not into
True.
it. Should go out and support her or them.
I agree.
It is not just a pet project. She is changing the world.
Exactly.
Really hard.
And that's the last thing I wanted to say. You brought it up. Uplifting other women. How important is it? I kind of started off talking about all the things that women do, but why is it so important to uplift other women as a woman, to say, hey, you know, I see you're doing X, Y, Z. I want to support you. I want to uplift what you're doing. Just why the importance of that? Because some women, they don't have that. And they're, you know, so just kind of anyone want to add to that?
I think it allows other women to know things are possible. And so when you see someone else doing something that you've dreamed about, that lets you know I'm capable of that too. And that's a pretty incredible thing.
And to piggyback off of that, there is also room for all of us, right? And if I empower you or encourage you to do something, then you can pass that on to another woman.
Love it.
Yes, and I have 3 girls, and I teach them how to be good friends, and you're not in competition with others. You be the best that you can be, you know, don't compare. I think that's a very important lesson in business as well. Everybody has a space, and you can be amazing in that space. You don't have to cut another person down. You can uplift other people and still win, you know? So I think it's an important lesson for not just other women, but girls to understand that too. I can win in business without cutting the competition out, you know?
Yes, exactly. Awesome.
We can do a lot more together than we can separate.
Absolutely.
Life is hard enough.
That part.
I mean, you really do. Life can be pretty tough, and I think it also gives you a sense of peace to know that you don't look at anyone else as a competitor. You're in competition with yourself. That's what I always tell myself. I want to be a better person today than I was yesterday. I'm not competing. I want everyone to do well, and it's good for me.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So
Like the amount of joy that was filled in the waiting room before we came in here, it was so much fun because these are women, we understand each other. We understand the process. We know the long nights, the stress, the fun, you know, we know all of it. And so I think
The Red Bulls.
right.
Might just be me, I don't know.
But you know, when you're able to experience that, it's like, hey, it's not just me. I'm not alone, you know?
Yeah.
Someone else understands me. And then when you see that, you feel lighter.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love that.
And lastly, karma is a boomerang.
Girl.
What you want to come back to you. Yes. That's what if I'm trying to make a decision about something big, I just think, what's the best thing I can put out there? That'll come back to me someday.
Love it. Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining me today. There you have it.
Thank you.
5 women publishers from right here in Huntsville. And we hope that you could take away a message today that women, we all are better together. This is all in honor of Women's History Month. So happy Women's History Month to all of you, from all of us right here at Fox 54 and these women publishers. Jasamine Byrd, Fox 54 News.